Talk about something that most y'all don't care about, which is items in our game. One of the things we want to do going into the next expansion, talk louder. Is that it? Is that not loud enough? Okay.
There you go.
All right. So talking about itemization, moving into Cataclysm, we wanted to streamline a bunch of stats, get rid of some of the ones that didn't make sense anymore, make some of the stats that have been in the game since ship that were bad, not bad anymore. And just make them easier to understand in general. So the first one, mana 5. I know most of you who have it hate it, and I'm sorry I keep shoving it down your throat. So it's gone. But you get spirit.
Wait.
Oh, yeah, I know. However, spirit, so basically we did a lot of talking about this, decided the whole concept of spirit regen. Managing resources is generally not fun for anyone that's not a healer. They're really the only people that ever want to use any kind of mana regen mechanic. So what we did is we're going to give all the healers some form of meditation or in-combat regen, maybe just change how spirit works to work kind of like mana 5 in addition. And mages and warlocks, you just don't have to deal with it anymore. I promise. Spell power, that's also gone. Don't panic, it's okay. Instead, what we're going to do, Intellect, we're going to make it stop sucking, and Intellect is going to provide your mana and spell power now. And as Greg pointed out, yeah, hunters, you can stop dealing with it. Enhancement shamans also, since you share gear with them, you're not going to have to worry with that either. Attack power, gone also. Oh, now you can panic. What we're going to do instead, though, is try to differentiate the purpose of attack power, what it started out as and what it became. Kind of confusing. Everyone takes it. What we're going to do instead is turn agility into the attack power for the rogues and the hunters. So agility is going to provide 2 AP the same way strength does for plate-wearing classes, for rogues, hunters, shamans, druids. And plate-wearers won't steal your gear anymore. There you go. Defense, another one. That's gone. Do you really want to juggle around the defense gap? Honestly. No, don't lie. Basically what we're going to do is for the tanks, for the people that it's actually needed for the only thing it's needed for, which is the anti-crit, we're going to implement that in more of a survival of the fittest form. Just like Feral Druids run with right now. Armor penetration. This one actually is gone. It's just caused too many problems. Most people don't understand how it works since it doesn't do exactly what you think it would do. We're replacing that with a stat called Mastery, which we'll be getting into more later, I believe, in the systems panel, which is tomorrow, Greg?
Yep.
Okay. If you want to know what Mastery does, systems panel tomorrow, you'll get a little insight into how that's going to work. But basically, whatever you like to do, Mastery makes you better at it. So if you like to heal, if you like to tank, if you're a hunter and you like your pet, it'll make your pet better. It's magic. Haste. Whoa, 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 whoa. What is this? So we talked a lot about haste, and it's been continuously just causing problems since we implemented, mainly because it does very different things depending on your class or spec. Casters. Haste is going to increase the rate that you gain your energy, runes, rage, or focus back for all the melee DPS-oriented classes. Enhancement shamans and Redditins, a little bit of work to make that happen, but it'll happen. Block. I know you all love this one too. Block value goes away. Instead, blocks are going to mitigate a percentage of incoming damage, kind of like dodge, I believe, was the last conversation. And then now you can use block as a real mitigation stat, and it's not broken in one part of the game and terrible in a raid boss fight. So prop paladins, there's hope for you somewhere over the rainbow. Stamina. It's gone. No, I'm just kidding. So we're not changing anything with stamina, but basically what it means is since we threw defense out the window, we threw spell power out the window, we threw attack power out the window, got rid of some of the less needed stats, everybody's going to have more hit points. So you all get to have the same hit points as play wearers, and you don't have to complain anymore about dying on Thorum because you're not a warrior. And then the last thing I wanted to leave you all with before I hand you off to John is the next legendary coming out of our Ice Crown raid zone. I know you want Frostmourne, but it's not happening. Instead, you get Shadowmourne. Introducing the next legendary two-handed axe. It's been a while. Ragnaros' hammer's kind of played out. Enjoy. Hope you all enjoyed it. And now I'm going to pass it off to John LeCraft to talk about professions.
Thank you, sir.
What? Oh yeah, my bad.
A little surprise for you there. All right, I'm John LeCraft. I do the professions in WoW, which some of you guys may have heard of before. And you may have heard of a new one this morning called Archaeology. You're probably wondering, what's archaeology? And we're still kind of asking ourselves that to some degree, but we're getting a pretty good hold on it. First off, it's a secondary profession like cooking or fishing, which means everyone is going to get this opportunity to, pull these rare artifacts and, from the ground and experience the rich history of Azeroth and then make their character more powerful. Because that's what we do. The biggest tie-in with the artifacts, and then this is actually in the end game, is it's going to unlock the potential for your paths, the paths of the Titan, which I think Greg went over in one of his earlier. Okay, we're really not going to talk about that much then, but it gives you more flexibility in that system that you know nothing about. But it's very cool. And secondly, it's going to give you some very cool, unique rewards. Things like vanity pets. You might have a little T-Rex that's, skeleton, or you might have instant travel to a dungeon because you discovered an underground passage. Titles. You're going to get unique recipes for other professions. Basically, you're just all kinds of random cool stuff that you're finding as you're digging up the world. I got a little very rough mock-up of the archaeology journal that you're going to have. And so, as you can imagine, you're picking up all these artifacts. You don't have to put them in your bag. They're going to go in your journal. They're just going to be magically in there. And kind of the idea behind the gameplay is it's a gathering skill. Much like the other gathering skills, the world's been cracked open, and so all these artifacts that were kind of buried in the earth are just on the surface. And you need the skill to be able to recognize them, and then the skill to kind of piece these things together. So once you get enough of one type, you do this kind of deciphering thing that we haven't fully defined yet, but it could be quest-like, and it could even be something as crazy as like a kind of a mini game in your little journal. Not sure yet. Another thing, I don't think that this was even in the big slide for show, but Reforging. And Reforging is another way to customize your gear. And one thing I'd like to point out is I know it's kind of daunting to think, oh, I have to enchant my thing, and I have to put gems in it, and now I have to reforge it. But reforging is going to be relatively cheap on the scale of things, so you will need someone to do it. And it's going to be given to blacksmiths, leatherworkers, tailors, jewel crafters, and engineers. And so each one of those professions gets a specific chunk of items that they get to reforge. For example, blacksmiths get to do plate and weapons, and engineers would do trinkets and ranged weapons. So, but what's the capability of this system? So the capability is you get to choose one of the stats on your item, you get to cut it in half, And then all those points you lost, you can put into another stat. I can already hear you guys thinking of ways to break the system. So there are going to be some restrictions.